What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We're your host, Kurt Dillon, and we have come off of what I'm going to go ahead and say is the best race of the year so far. Bahrain did not disappoint.
No, not even a little bit. And I mean, it was action-packed. It was strategy-filled. It was maybe a one-stopper, maybe a three-stopper, maybe a safety car. I don't even know anymore. Let's throw softs on in the middle of the race. Hell, screw it.
There was all three compounds were being used basically throughout the entire race. It was awesome. Like you said, strategy that we normally don't see in a dry race like this.
Yeah.
Like normally it takes a wet race for there to be any sort of like mixing up of the strategies and the pits and all that. But man, this race was just awesome. Incredible.
It was. And the winner of it wasn't even on the TV 90% of the time. He was just winning his race from the front.
Right. They didn't even put him on the main broadcast when he crossed the finish line, which I thought was weird. But
I thought that was a little disrespectful, but whatever.
Like you just see a little tiny box.
Yeah. We had a Mercedes that was falling apart that almost got a penalty. So George Russell was investigated after the race for his DRS not working properly and gaining 0.2 seconds down the main straight from it. But they said the car was falling apart so much he was losing 0.28 of a second in the turns 1 through 3. And so there's no need for a penalty. He wasn't getting an advantage. He was actually at a disadvantage.
He got lucky. And like he said afterwards, he's like, one more lap and Lando would have got me. But man, that was, I'm sure for Russell, that was probably
Lando
pretty
has
nail-biting.
53 laps to get somebody. I mean, what a start from 6th up to 3rd. Like it was freaking nothing. I thought McLaren was going to have a hell of a decision to make on their hands on having the two drivers out front like that. But then just nothing. You just couldn't.
So I think now's a good time. As the resident Lando Norris fan, I will say that this weekend I saw some cracks that have been there, but I've been kind of just like overlooking them. Yeah. So I was hoping that Lando had made a change from the way he was last year, which is the emotional Lando, the poopy face Lando. And we got to see after the quali interviews when they were talking to him, he was just back to his old ways. They're asking him what was the issue, and he's just like pointing to himself. He's like, me, I'm the issue. And just his attitude and the way he was saying things, it reminded me a lot of last year, which I hoped he fixed in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think he probably is still working on it. At least he knows, because in the post-race interviews, he was like, look, I know I shouldn't think this way, but it's just the way I think. But I do think that Lando has a problem on his hands, and his name is Oscar Piastri. And I think that Oscar, I caution myself because we've done this podcast now for 3 years. And one thing I've learned is Formula One is it's a long game throughout the season. And this is the very beginning of the season. But man, if I had to put money on it right now, I would say that Oscar is probably the favorite to win the championship this year.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. And it's pretty exciting. I mean, Oscar's only been in the sport for 3 years. The last time we had a world champion in his third year, or, world champion contender in his, third year was Lewis Hamilton.
And look where that went.
I mean, and it's hard not to like Oscar. Like he's chill. He's not quite, Kimi Räikkönen chill, but he's close. He's got the vibes for it, and he's a hell of a driver.
He is. So does this mean that Lando is the Nico Rosberg in the equation? That means he'll get at least one championship and then just ride off into the sunset. But I do think that Oscar is now, what is he? I think he's
3 points.
A point behind. 3 points. Okay. So Oscar is right there. I think that Lando, his mindset is so fragile that if Oscar does overtake him, it's a wrap at that point.
It's going to be really
So
hard.
I think Lando, we're going to be able to see in the next race. But man, if you don't get a grip on it soon, Oscar's going to probably just take off.
This is Lando's chance. This is your year, man.
Yeah.
Like, take it or leave it. And if you're going to leave it, then that says what we need to say, or go take it. And I think we're all going to root for it. But it's squarely in his hands and his mental capability to be a world champion. So here you go.
Yeah. It's going to be a long year fighting Oscar, man, because Oscar's going to be there every step of the way. And I am so here for this. I'm so excited about this inner team battle more so than anything else, I think.
Well, then we got George Russell just, consistently being there. We have Leclerc and Hamilton complaining about driving a tractor, yet there. Like, if they hadn't been double DQ'd that one a couple of weeks ago, like, they would be up there. I mean, this isn't in the bag for anybody.
No, this is shaping up to be one hell of a season.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, you've got Max Verstappen, who is he is the sole reason that Red Bull is not a solid midfield team right now.
Yeah.
And he is still right freaking there. Like, how is he able to go from P20 to P6?
Can't drive the damn car and still come out in P6.
That guy, it was almost, and it kind of went under the radar. It wasn't as impressive, but it was almost on the level of Brazil last year, going from P20 all the way up to 6th, which is absolutely wild. When I saw him on P20, I was like, I don't know if I've seen that before. It
blew my mind.
Yeah. And then after that, he's just knocking them off. Boop, boop, boop. And then, oh man, it's just incredible to watch the way that he's driving right now.
It's my favorite.
Like we said.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I loved it in 2021 when Lewis Hamilton would do that. His Brazil run in 2021 when he got that new engine was like, I love watching a true world champion like that do what they do in a car that shouldn't be there. Kind of. And I'm going to segue that and say, also, Pierre frickin' Gasly driving a French tractor, out qualifying Max, Lewis, Norris. Like,
Pierre Gasly did incredible in that car this weekend. I don't think anybody expected that, including Pierre.
No,
nobody expected him to be so high. And it was kind of like, is he there? Like, does he deserve to be there?
Surely he's going to get shuffled out of this, and then he's just still there. You're like, okay, I feel like I'm missing something.
In the pre-race buildup, they're like, yeah, he's not going to fight too hard because he knows that the car is going to shuffle down a couple spots. No, he was just there.
And then we have Ollie Behrman qualifying dead freaking last, and you're just like, oh. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, he's in the points right now. Where did Ollie? What the hell is going on over here?
He was so happy, and so during the grid walk, if you're watching it on Formula One TV, we had Davide, who is the Italian dude. Oh, dude, I love Davide, the Italian guy. Which side note, I didn't realize that he was a GP2, which is an F2 champion in 2012. And then kind of F1 politics kept him out of F1. But I love that guy. But he talked to Ayo Komatsu during the grid walk, and he was like, hey, so your car's, P20, it's like, is it hard to drive? How do you feel about it? And I was like, no, we're actually really happy with where the car's at right now. It was just a fluke. And he was completely like supportive of his team. Yeah. And then as soon as the race starts, you got to see that, yeah, he was right. Those cars were actually a lot better than what it looked like off of their qualifying positions.
Which is the exact opposite of what happened to Williams.
Oh my God. Dude, Carlos Sainz, I thought this was going to be his weekend. He has been not having a good time lately in that car, and it looked like this was going to be his weekend.
Well, and I mean, he's on the starting grid in front of Lewis Hamilton. You're like, you think he's probably looking, going, yeah, nah. And at the end of the race, it's like, I take it back.
Yeah. Man, that was not good. Oh, Yuki Tsunoda made sure that Carlos was not going to finish well.
Yuki Tsunoda made sure his ass was getting points this weekend. That's what Yuki was doing.
Yuki Tsunoda was out there throwing hands. They kept going back to him. He was running into both Williams, both Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. He was getting scrappy. Oh yeah, he was on the absolute edge, and I think that also is a testament to just how hard that car is to drive, that he has to drive like that in order to squeeze the most out of it. And the fact that, this is second race. This is the first time that car has qualified up in Q3 this year. And he's able to get points in that car.
This is the first points in Red Bull scored by someone other than Max Verstappen since Las Vegas 2024.
Oh, dude. I don't understand. I think it just goes and shows the fact that Red Bull made a huge mistake overlooking Yuki. And I think it highlights that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, because on paper, like we said before, that should have been Yuki. And now he's getting in the car and he's showing right away. And you're looking at Lawson.
Bro.
And on the other side, oh my God, Lawson, everybody was like, oh, he'll do fine. Put him back in the Racing Bulls. Lawson's having a tough time.
Lawson, I think, is more at risk than Doo-Doo Hands is. And Duhan's not having a great time. All right? He's not doing well, but I'm looking at him and I'm looking at Lawson. And I'm like, I might be making the argument to give Racing Bulls Colapinto, and you guys keep going. He's doing all right. Like,
yeah. I think he qualied in P11. He made it up into Q2. I mean, I think that's all you can ask from him right now. He hasn't had, he's had some crashes. He's had his ups and downs,
rookie.
but I think exactly he should be allowed to be a rookie. And now you got Liam Lawson. I mean, we can't really say that he's a rookie like Duhan is. Like,
and Lawson's
been around
just Mr. Irrelevant at this point.
Oh man, it sucks. He came in so hot, popping off at the mouth.
At least moving, right? Like Hadjar's racing. You see him out there doing things. You're like, where's Lawson's in the back with Bortoleto? What are you doing back there, dude? Like, are you? You're supposed to pass, right? Like that's the goal here is move up no, okay.
He had a half a season in that car last year, a couple races the year before that. Isaac Hadjar got in there this year and is clearly just wiping the floor with him. Yeah. Isaac Hadjar is exciting and impressive.
He is. We were not fans of his. We made some bad assumptions going into this year, and he's already shut us up. I'm excited.
I'll take it back
all day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan of Isaac Hadjar now.
Yeah. So, I mean, what a weekend. Ferrari strategy was Ferrari strategy. I'm not sure why they did half the things they did, but it worked out at the end, I guess. So maybe I don't know what I'm doing. The Red Bull pit stops were an absolute shit show, which last week we were talking about how that's the one team I wouldn't bet against to have bad pit stops. And bro.
Hold my beer.
Tech malfunctions, tires not coming off. I mean, ugh.
It was the fact that the release light malfunctioned for both drivers was bad enough. And then Max came back. I know that Max was fighting against that team yesterday. Everything that he did was 100% in spite of the team and what they were doing to him. So, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I know he was steaming under that helmet.
Kind of like Leclerc. We are going plan Bravo. How about Delta? Please, let's look at Delta.
Yeah.
No, Bravo.
Please consider this.
Look at Delta. No, Bravo.
And then you look up and he's coming in the pits. You're like, oh. There's no faith in your driver.
For another set of mediums, you are committing to the two-stop now. No shot.
Hey, man. I mean,
it worked out.
I was about to say, yeah, it worked out. So good on them. It wasn't a complete clown show over there. He's still coming in P4. So him and George Russell, I feel like, have been super consistent this year. I was looking at Lewis Hamilton, P5, after, qualifying and his post-quali interview. I
was going to bring that up. Did you listen to one of his post-race interviews about the racing style?
No.
Super interesting. Just a very typical, like, honest Lewis Hamilton. And he was just like, I've had the same racing style in the same car for 12 years. He's like, and this car is just different. He's like, it's different in every single way. He's like, the downforce is different. The brakes are different. He's like, I've always raced with Brembo brakes. Now I'm racing with CSI brakes. He's like, he started just making all the comparisons. And he was like, I'm learning. He was like, I'm getting better and I'm picking it up. But he was like, I've been in the same car for 12 years and this is a totally different animal, different manufacturing, different setup, different everything. He's like, it's like I have to relearn how to drive.
I think I saw a snippet of that where he was saying that in Mercedes, they never used engine braking.
Yeah.
In Ferrari, we use a lot of engine braking, which I guess you're right, man. For his muscle memory from being in that same machine for 12 years, even through all the iterations, it's still got the same DNA for that long.
And the same manufactured parts, right? Like it really kind of hit me when he was like, I've always raced with Brembo brakes. Now I have these brakes. And I think most of us driving day-to-day cars wouldn't notice the difference, but I'm sure that is a stark difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Just small little things like that. Just the initial bite, I'm sure, is different. So you got to come in the brakes with a little bit, maybe a different pressure. I don't know, man. It's wild.
The way they cool off is probably different. Like it makes me appreciate Lewis Hamilton and his honesty to have an interview like that and be like, yeah, that's kind of fair, man. And you're still sitting in P5. Like,
yeah. I think it's important. It puts context on things, right? Everybody looks to like 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. He should be able to get in that car, and within 2 races, he should be on the ball. It's like, well, how do you undo 12 years in 2 races?
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit. So
it's been 4 races and he is with his teammate. Show me another driver pairing that is as consistently together as they are. Like,
yeah. And he won the sprint.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he by all accounts, he's had success this year.
Yeah. He's not pulling a Lawson.
I mean, yeah, a Lawson, Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz hasn't been barely anywhere near Alex Albon until this weekend. So it makes sense.
And then we had Kimi Antonelli, who got screwed over in strategy, but man, that kid is fun to watch.
Kimi is so much fun. The way that he swings out wide, and I know the commentators had mentioned it too. He uses the curbs, especially the entry curbs, more than anybody else, and it's so much fun to watch because he's almost like. I think about some of these rookies kind of like baby rattlesnakes. Like they bite you, but they don't know how much venom they're putting in. So like they're more dangerous is what people say. And that's how I feel because they don't have like these, they're not so set in their ways. They're kind of wild and scary. It's like, oh, what are they going to do? But
and they're not mature to say, oh, I'm going to let that guy go by because I have a chance later in the race. They're like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Like, no, every spot is for the win. And I love seeing that. It's raw and unfiltered, especially with him. He's so much fun to watch.
He is a blast to watch. I don't think him being in P11 is a fair representation of his race because that dude was passing. That dude was fighting. It was
he got hosed by the safety car. So he definitely should have been higher than that.
The TV director is got to go.
Yeah. There's been some issues.
Like, you remember last weekend when we watched Max and Norris like driving out of the pit together and then the TV director shifts it. So we just watched Charles Leclerc get a new set of tires. And you're like,
like, there's grass in the air.
Like, it's like this weekend too. It's just constantly just missing battles. You don't even show the guy winning the race, Oscar Piastri winning the race. It's in the little screen top.
Yeah. What's funny is I thought about it when it happened, and normally there'll be like a battle going on, and it'll switch over to the guy like Max Verstappen crossing the finish line. I'm like, no, go back. But now I'm kind of watching George or Lando and George.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're gonna switch any second, and they didn't. And I was like, oh, we didn't really get to see him cross the finish line. Like, it's a big moment for him.
Yeah.
He won once again. This is the second race out of 4. And yet again, another one from pole.
Yep. First one to win
season.
from pole in Bahrain in like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Bahrain never wins from pole.
Well, he's breaking down barriers.
Just breaking
and staking his claim. Lando Norris, beware.
What a race. Should we go over to heroes and zeros and see if we pick anything else up?
Let's do this.
I've got a bunch. You want to go first? I've got some alternates.
Sure. I'll start with my zeros. First zero. Man, Liam Lawson.
Yeah.
Quali P17. Was that P15, I think, in the race?
He finished P16 just ahead of Lance Stroll and Bortoleto. Those are the only 2 drivers.
Yeah.
He would have finished P17 except for Nico Hulkenberg DQ.
Yeah, which we haven't spoke about that, but that's another issue. But yeah, so Liam Lawson, I mean, if you're only beating Bortoleto and Stroll, those aren't, it's not very high, right? Especially when your teammate, even though his teammate was P13 in the race, but Isaac is just outclassing him at every turn. So Liam Lawson, definitely on my zeros list. Who else do I got? I got a few here. I'm going to pick 2 more. I don't know if I should do that one. I will go with, I'm going to go with Williams. I'm going to do Williams. Yeah. I feel like Williams was on par for some good scoring, potential double points today or yesterday. And then just did not work out for those guys. Then Carlos Sainz finding his way, fighting with Yuki through no fault of his own, losing a big chunk of his side pod and winding up having to retire the car after such a great quali too. I thought he was really on for one. So I'm going to put those guys on there. And my last one, the big one, Red Bull. Red Bull as an organization, minus the drivers, has done everything in their power, I feel like, this weekend to really just show how poorly things are going over there.
And for it to be topped off with Max's, it's all the news right now. Max's manager having like a screaming match with Helmut Marko.
Oh, I have not seen that one. I've been out of the
there's
loop,
quite
I
a
guess.
bit. Apparently, he was like from the pictures. His manager is hot.
Look, Red Bull is in danger right now because I don't. If I'm Max, I don't want to be tied to this organization anymore.
No.
If he leaves, like I said earlier, he's the only thing keeping them from being a midfield team. But if he leaves, nobody else can drive that car. So when he leaves, they are going to be in probably a good 2 to 3 seasons of absolute turmoil until they get that car completely 180 degree turned around fundamentally.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're in a hot spot. And if I'm Max, I am not beholden to Red Bull.
No. I've proven what I needed to with them. I'm going to go somewhere else and somewhere that's got a better, where I'm not going to be getting all these stupid questions all the time. My dad's not going to be fighting with the bosses all the time. And I'm going to go somewhere else and get a nice fat paycheck, probably from Mr. Lawrence Stroll.
Or Mr. Toto Wolff. I think those are two.
So, yeah, I agree. All right, who do you got for your zeros?
I've got some overlap with you, so I'm going to swap it up a little bit. I'm gonna double tap on Lawson though. Just
he needs it.
Not great. I mean, I would honestly, if you had me rank all 6 of the rookies, I'd put him dead last right now.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, Bortoletto is kind of irrelevant, and Jack Doohan is at least, I can see the guy's trying.
Yeah. Even Bortoletto. Bortoletto's been doing pretty well. He just doesn't have an option to do much better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like Liam seems to actively be on the decline.
Yes.
This might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put Lando on my zeros list for this weekend.
He was an alternate on mine.
It was not, so much of it, I think, is just how you handle the situation. Max Verstappen had a terrible quali, but he wasn't just that emotional, self-deprecating response, I think, is awful, both outwardly and inwardly for him. It really came through this weekend. He had a great drive getting up into P3, couldn't get past Russell, who had an incredible drive. Just the optics were bad.
Yeah. I would like to add that, like you said, poor quali, had a great start, but he got penalized for going over. So there's another knock on him. It seemed like he was having a lot of trouble getting past Leclerc. Then he got to Russell and couldn't get past him. I feel like, I don't know if his moves are predictable, too safe,
conservative.
Conservative. I'm not really sure.
Hey, sometimes you got to take a few drivers out to let them know, to let you on through. All right, you got to set the stage early.
I feel like, all right, so I feel like that time has probably passed because he is dead heat with Oscar right now, so he can't afford that. You saw that last turn with George Russell. He couldn't afford to crash right there, so he had to back out. But yeah, I think that he should have been, if he had enough of a gap, he could start driving aggressively and let these guys know. But now they got him by the balls because he can't, so he's got to be clean at this point. But just not a good overall weekend for him, I feel like.
And then my last one has got to be Sainz and Williams. It's just a bad showing this weekend, and I'd like to see him do better.
Yeah, really hoping that Sainz gets on it soon.
I like Sainz too. Like, I want him to succeed and Williams to move up. So I want him to do better.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go to heroes.
Okay, why don't you start off with the heroes?
Oscar Piastri.
Yep.
Soup to nuts. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. Hell yeah.
Cool as a cucumber too. It's like, oh, it's going to be a hell of a party. I'm not going, but
simply love you. So
yeah, good for him.
Awesome for him. Dude, Haas altogether and Bierman in particular. Double points finish for Haas. Ocon had a decent weekend other than making a stupid mistake in Q2 to get him out, but did well. Behrman starting P20 and moving up 10 places to finish in the points. Hell yeah.
Dude, Haas is P5 right now in the standings.
On merit. That's not a fluke, I don't think. Like that. I don't think they're getting shuffled down.
And it's good too, because their first race of the season, we're like, oh man, it was Haas like pulling the wool over our eyes, and they're actually slow, but they've actually come back since then. So yeah, P5 right behind Ferrari. I say right, they're 37 points behind Ferrari. It's a big jump, but they're still behind Ferrari.
And I like Komatsu a ton. Like, I like the leadership at Haas right now. It seems to have a good aura around it of going in the right direction.
Red Bull should take note.
They should, other than Ocon.
Ocon did well. I've got to give it to him.
He did well. I just do not like him. God, I've got like quite a few other ones. I think the last one I'm going to throw in is George Russell.
Yeah.
That dude deserves it. P2 driving a Mercedes that was actively falling apart, red lights on the steering wheel. No one knows what's going on. And still fights off Lando Norris for 53 laps. Like,
they're like, your steering wheel might turn off. He's like, okay. I was listening to his post-race interview and he was like, I was afraid to make changes because then like if it turns off, now I'm stuck in a suboptimal setting.
Yeah.
So he's just like trying to limp that thing around. And as much crap as we talk about it, man, he's making it so hard this year because he's just right freaking there. He's got Mercedes P2 in the championship.
Yes.
And
that
so
Mercedes might actually be fast. It's hard to tell. Like there's so much going on. You're like, is it? I don't know. I think it is.
It's like I was thinking about the lineup that Mercedes has. And Toto, you know, from all the rumors about him wanting to take on Max, I don't know if that would be a wise move right now, just because Russell's doing so good. He's probably not, he's probably on the lower end of unlikability as far as drivers, but he's so consistent. And then you got Kimi on the other side, who I think everybody loves Kimi.
How do you not?
And he's good. Yeah. And he's fast. So, I mean, Toto's got, I think, a full package in the drivers. I think it would be just destabilizing to switch that up. And I don't think that's going to happen.
I agree. I agree with you, but I like Toto Wolff and I like Mercedes. So there's a part of me that would love to see Max over
there. Going to the dark side. Yeah.
All right. Who you got?
Okay. So I'll switch up a little bit because I did have Oscar on mine, but I want to go with Pierre Gasly.
Hell yeah.
And kind of Alpine as a whole. I think that car looked like it made a huge improvement. The car looked to be much faster. Pierre Gasly was just killing it this weekend. So those guys are definitely on my list. I had Haas too. I'll say that the Red Bull drivers, I will put them on my list. Specifically Max Verstappen.
Hell, Yuki got points. I think he absolutely deserves to be thrown in.
Yeah, he definitely does. And it's so strange. It's like Red Bull as an organization is on my zeros, but the drivers are on my heroes. And I think that it's kind of clear to see that those drivers are doing everything they can. And what Max did yesterday was just nothing short of amazing.
Yeah.
So they're on there, and I'll stick with Haas as my other one because again, double points, P5, right behind Ferrari. Good for those guys.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go over to these predictions that I don't really want to go over because I don't think I got a single one.
You didn't do that good. We can just go over mine if you'd like.
Tied 5-5.
Coming into this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on pole, I had Lando Norris. Last time I put
on pole
up there. Blacklisted.
On pole, I had Oscar Piastri.
Look at you go. P3, I had Max Verstappen.
P3, I had George Russell, and that did not
You're
help.
a hell of a lot closer than I was.
Yeah.
P2, I had Oscar Piastri.
P2, I also had Oscar.
P1, I had Norris winning this.
So did I.
Yeah, so that was a swing and a miss. My wild card was 2 safety cars.
Just got the one.
I don't know how at turn 1 someone didn't crash on the start. I don't know how. Dude, did you see the restart of the safety car? They did the angle looking straight at the cars coming down the straightaways, just sparks everywhere from all the drag. There's so many. There's like rooster tails of sparks. I was like, holy crap. That was Suzuka. Yeah, the whole place would have burned down.
It would have been inferno. That's always impressive to see. All right, so my wild card, I had Lewis Hamilton top 5, so I'll go ahead and take those 2 points.
So would you get 3 points?
I did. I got 3 points.
This might be the year of the Kurt. You are winning 8-5.
Yes. Yes, that feels so good. All right, let's see. Where's the fantasy at right now?
I did. Man, I cannot believe I substituted out freaking Piastri for Max. I'm kicking myself. It is not my weekend for picking teams. Well, I moved up to 12th place. You are still in 3rd place. So I'm kind of amazed that I moved up, but I'll take it. Oh, check that out. Apparently, I did not do as I said I did. I could have swore I picked. There's no.
I don't know how I did not move down.
There it is. Yeah, Carlos Sainz cost me 9 points. Max, I only got 44 points. But who picked Piastri? How many points would I have got? I would have got 90 points. I would have got 50 more points if I picked Piastri.
A good chunk of my points came because I had Behrman, and he passed a lot of people, so I got 22 points from him.
Got 92 points from McLaren as a whole.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we still have in P1. It's Friday, then it's Saturday, followed by Providence Racing, and then We Are Checking, which is my team, in P3. And you said, yep, you are down there.
Wallowing in P12. All right, Kurt. We've got Jeddah this week. The third round of the triple header.
Jeddah has become one of my probably top 5 tracks, I would say. Jeddah's a fun time. I enjoy that one.
Fastest street circuit, I believe. Fastest average speed street circuit. It's got like 21 turns or something ridiculous. I mean, this is a hell of a track.
Yes, it is. And it's good times, too. It's like, I think 2 or 3 hours later than what Bahrain was. So it'll be smack in the early afternoon here on the East Coast. So I'm excited for that. Oh, it's going to be good. And this is the final one for the triple headder. And then I believe we had to...
That way, when I crack a drink for it, it's not alcoholism. It's just normal afternoon stuff.
Your wife hears that on the other side of the house.
It's 8 a.m.
Formula One's on. Oh, man. All right. Well, we'll be back in a few short days for that preview pod for that. So I don't have anything else, Dylan. Do you?
That's all I got. What a weekend.
All right. Well, make sure you guys leave us a rating and a review. Share this with a friend if you can. Other than that, check us out on Instagram, Formula_America, and Formula America on YouTube as well. But I think that's probably going to be it. So on that note,
stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time.